Yeah, so welcome to my video. Welcome to my video. Today I'm going to show you a simple way of designing a competency-based scheme of work as a secondary teacher who is teaching any subject. Though this one I've done mostly for arts and design, but you can actually apply this same technique in designing all in all subjects for the new curriculum in secondary school. So consider subscribing to my channel if this video is going to help you. So we are going to use an example of a school. Let's use Masaka Secondary School for now. Yeah, so in your scheme of work there should be the name of your school that you're teaching in. That is very important, actually, very. Masaka Secondary School. Then we are going to design maybe if it has a box number, we shall write, for example, let's say PO Box. Yeah, let's write that for now. So I've decided to make it bold so that you can see this very well. I'm trying to use the bold letters so that you see it well. So for this, we are going to use PO Box 134-256 Masaka. In the competency-based scheme of work, I believe we all know what it means in this new curriculum. We all understand that. So as we keep on designing, I'll be teaching you what it means to be competency-based. And I believe all of us teachers have been in different workshops that we learned how to teach this new curriculum, because it's not like the last one where everything was based on the teacher, but this is mostly student based, where the teacher is just like a facilitator in most of the lessons that are done. So competency based scheme of work. Yes, let's continue. Wherever you are, you can subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be bringing a lot of videos in this channel, though this is my first, but I'm going to be giving some other clues that most people don't know about. Both students and teachers can actually watch the videos that I'm going to be posting, because I'm going to be teaching some other crucial elements that are very important when we are teaching arts and design in schools. Now we are going to the next item, which is the name of the teacher. Yeah, that's where your name goes as a teacher. Then you are going to write the class. It might be senior 2, senior 1, senior 3, senior 4. All right. Then your next is going to be the sheet number. So if this scheme of work maybe has around 6 or 7 papers or sheets, then the first one is going to be sheet number 1 of 6 or of 7. That is if you have if your scheme of work is having 7 papers. Then also you are going to write the subject. The subject, for this case, our subject is fine art. I mean, it's arts and design for O level, then fine art for A level. I don't know why they're still keeping that name of fine art in A level. But let's not talk about that now. I'm going to be talking about that in the next video. So the subject is fine art or arts and design. Then you're going to write the term. You are going to write the term, which is term 1, term 2, term 3, right? So that's how it goes. Then from here we are going to construct the table. We're going to construct a table where we are going to enter all our datas, right? We are going to construct this table. So let me construct this. So we're going to make it let me say 2. Then I think this is supposed to be, we have to divide to 9. I think we have to divide to around 9. Yep. So yeah, it's good to learn these things, even if we know we are teachers, but we have to understand these things. Sometimes we have to, there's some teachers who are just coming up, who are just out of school, so they have to learn this. So this is how I'm constructing my table, where I'm going to enter my datas, where I'm going to enter my scheme of work. So yeah, let me resize it, even though I've not yet written anything there, but let me try to resize. It like that. Okay. All right, that's not bad. So all right, so the scheme of work, I think even for primary schools, scheme of work and lesson plans are very important. You can't be a teacher and you don't know how to make scheme of work. You can't be a teacher and you don't know how to do the lesson planning for yourself. So that's the purpose of this video. For those who don't know, for those who want to learn more, this is how you can do it on the computer. This is the same way actually you can design in your book, right? Yeah. So but mostly I think most schools they provide this scheme of work to the teachers, and yours is just to write the top. I mean your work is just to scheme. Right. So on the first column we are going to write the week. So this week, mostly when the school starts, let's say in first term, there is the week 1 of the start. That is week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7. Right. So there is weeks, then there is period. So in this topic that you are going to cover, how many periods are they going to take, right? How many periods are they going to take? So let's say, okay, let's go to the next one, the topic or the theme. So there, that's where you'll write the topic that you are going to teach to the learners. That's where you're going to teach the topics to the learners. And then the competency, right? So the competency is what the student will be able to do after learning the topic that you are teaching, right? The learner will apply the knowledge that you taught him, right? He has to apply it to create something that you've been teaching about, because most of these arts and design is practical part. So after learning that, they have to be able to create what they learned. And then the learning outcome. So learning outcomes are actually what learners should be able to understand or to do after you have taught after you have finished teaching the topic, right? The things that they have learned, right? Things that they have learned. So we get this, actually all these things are in the new syllabus, the syllabus guide. They're all there. We have the competency, we have the learning outcomes, we have the suggested learning activities, things that they should learn in that topic. Then also in the syllabus we have the sample assessment strategy, right? Assessment strategy. So we also have we have here the learning outcomes. Then we have the teaching or learning resources, right? So if you're in the class, what do you use to teach these kids, these learners? What do you use? What are resources that you need, that you should have in order for your lesson to run smoothly, right? So that is the teaching or learning resource. Then the teaching method. What methods do you use in teaching these children? What method do you use? Do you use discussions? Do you use a questionnaire or question and answers? Do you make them do research? So those are the things. And then the references. The references are mostly the books that you can refer them to, right? Like in this topic, where did you pick them from, on which book and from which pages, right? Then we have the remarks. So after teaching, what happened? Did they understand? Did you give them assessment? Did they do it well and all that, right? So after we have finished constructing, so we are going to enter our data in from the first column, that is week. So let's say, for example, when you've just started the term, that's going to be week one. It's going to be week one. Then the period, let's say it's going to be 4 periods. Those are like 2 lessons, 4 periods. Then the topic or theme that we are going to put here, for example, is going to be graphics design, right? So the topic itself is the graphic art language. That is the topic. Then the theme is graphics designing. In the syllabus, it shows that it should be 8 periods, right? It should be 8 periods. That's what it shows in the syllabus. And then the competency, the learner should be able to the learner applies, right? The competency, the learner applies knowledge and skills acquired in basic graphic design to create graphical images that communicate ideas, right? Acquired in basic graphic design to create graphical images that communicates, right? So it has to be communicative. We don't just create something for the sake of creating. No, it has to convey a message. That's a competency. So the learner applies knowledge and skills acquired in basic design. So on what you have taught, the competency of the learner should be, he should acquire that knowledge that you have taught him, right? So that he will be able to create graphical images and communicate ideas. Then now we are going to the learning outcomes. The learning outcomes are the things are what the learners should do after finishing this topic, what the learners should be able to do. So we have in this topic we have 4 learning outcomes, of which number 1 is the learner should understand the art of graphics as a means of communication, right? As a means of communication. So in a competency based, there is if you open the syllabus book, you'll find there written K and U. So that is knowledge and understanding, right? Knowledge and understanding. So that is low order thinking, I think. Low order, there's something of low order, then medium order, then high order, where all these they're divided into 3 categories, right? So as a teacher, you should know where your question should come to, right? So mostly your question should base on the knowledge, the understanding, and then there is that V, right? There is that practical skills that a learner should actually understand, right? Yeah. So we are on B. We are on learning outcomes, which is the B part should be the learner should use the elements of design. There's a lot of noise in my background. I am really very sorry for that. I'm in the studio right now, and in the evenings people are having entertainment. Yeah, so there's a lot of noise at my background, but don't worry, let's continue. So the B is the learner should be able to use elements of design to create graphical images. Use elements of design to create graphical images, right? So I was thinking maybe I stopped here, but we have like 4 of those learning outcomes. So let's write C, which is experiment with a variety of materials. Experiment with a variety of materials and tools to create, right? To create graphical work. And also I apologize for using the dark mode. I've tried to make my letters bold so that you can see it well, because I'm on dark mode. So my computer, I prefer dark mode mostly because it is somehow safe for my eyes. So I believe there's no problem with that. Please, I beg you to at least subscribe, and so that when I drop some other videos, you you can still watch them. You can still watch them. So yeah, we are on D now. We are on D, which is evaluate the use, evaluate the use, evaluate the use of elements and principles in graphics design. Right, so the learner should be able to evaluate the use of elements. What elements do we apply, and what principles do we apply in graphics designing? Right. So those are the learning outcomes. Those are the learning outcomes. Then our next will be from learning outcome we have to go to the teaching or learning resources. Right. So I tried explaining something about it, about the learning resources. Maybe the computers, maybe the colored pencils for the graphics, the rulers, or maybe already designed graphic work where they can see and maybe do their research from. All right. So in this case, let us let us maybe write. Let's write the computer, because basically they have to actually see things how it is done in the computer. Then maybe they can bring it on the papers. As you saw in the mock of 2024 of Wakisha, you saw mostly it was graphics work, and I believe we also how it went. Though I know right now the results are not yet out. But they did the graphics. It was graphics work mostly. The question was mostly based on graphics. Yeah, so on the learning resources, you're going to write maybe the art books for the students, the computer. If the school has a computer library, they can learn from there. We have the art pencils, we have the colored pencils, and more. We have the compo pens and the rest. So those are the learning resources and the teaching resources. They're the same thing, right? What the teacher uses and what the student uses when they're learning graphics designing, right? Then we are going to do the teaching methods. So as teachers, we know what teaching methods are. There is questionnaires, there is discussions, group discussions, and then there is questions and answers, there is assessments, there is research, right? So all these are teaching methods. But currently in this new curriculum, all these things are based on the students, right? They're supposed to do most of these things by themselves. As a teacher, your work is to mostly follow up and maybe some critics, on their works. As they say, what they're writing is what is from their critical thinking. So you don't have to tell them, this is very wrong and all that, right? You're not supposed to do that, because that is coming from their own thinking. So no one is wrong, right? Yeah. Then the references, I told you on the references. Okay. So research, assessment. Yeah. Then let's go to the references. So on the references, we are going to write, let's say, I always use these arts and design textbooks for the learners. So for this topic of graphics design, I use the arts and design textbook, the book 2, students book 2. Yeah, then also you can maybe include the teacher's guide and all that, and all other references that you have, right? You can also include all of that. It's very important. Yeah. So let's write, for example, textbook. Maybe I'm just writing these pages, but it's not the same. It's not like it is very correct, right? I'm just writing for the sake of you to know how it's done. So you can write pages 20 maybe to 34. 20 to 34. Yeah. So that's basically about references. Then we have the remarks, right? We have the remarks. So after teaching, maybe you did assessment. So what is the remarks? What do you write there? You just write anything, like maybe the learners learned, you gave them assignment, they did well, they learned this and this and this, right? So maybe they learned all this, the learning outcome was cool. I mean, the competency, they learned all that, all these. All right. So teachers, that's basically where my video will stop. That's basically where it will stop. I tried to make this video. I took some time to create it. So your subscription will be very important for me. I also have a studio where I do the artwork. So I'm going to be posting some of the videos of my students I teach in a school around Entebbe. I also do okay. I teach a secondary school. Then also I teach. I do private teachings for students and pupils. So mostly during holidays, I have holiday programs. I have holiday tutoring for students and pupils, where I teach them the basics of paintings, the basics of drawings. Yeah, basically those are the things that I do, right? So as I keep writing the remarks, I can actually be telling you some of the things that I do, which are very important. So yeah, we are all teachers. This scheme of work doesn't only apply to fine arts or to only arts and design. It is for all the subjects, whether you're doing chemistry, whether you are teaching physics, whether you are teaching English language. These are the same format that is used in all these subjects, right? This is the same format that is used in all these subjects. There is no differences, right? In the new curriculum, there is no differences. And then also, what I will say is that uh, I'm going to be talking about the UNEB, about they used to send for us confidentials for exams, but now they have stopped doing that. So it is kind of going to affect some schools that are not doing so well in terms of finances, because you have to provide all the materials that might be used. The fact that you don't know where the questions will come from, right? It becomes very hard for the school to purchase all the things that are needed for the exam, yet they don't know exactly what is coming, right? What we know right now is that use of heavy materials like clay, cement, and all that has been cut off. So yeah, that would actually help us not to buy things that are not needed, right? So basically, I'm going to end by saying I'm going to be dropping some of my videos again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with me throughout the video. Yeah, forward to your friends, right? To your friends, forward to your friends, and I'm going to be dropping a lot of videos about this new curriculum, even though this is my first, right? So thank you so much. My name is Godfrey. My name is Godfrey. So you can always communicate here. You can comment. You can like my video. Thank you.